ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome back to another World of Tanks replay with your host, GreatTaz. Now let's get this battle on the road in 3, 2, 1, roll out. Hello everyone, welcome back to another World of Tanks replay with me, your host, GreatTaz. Today we're going to be watching me play the Rhm Panzer, or the Rhm Panzer, or the Rabumba, or some people call it. And today we're going to be on Malinovka in an encounter battle. As you can see right there, we start off that our ELC even 90 is rushing across the little location right there. Someone spots their Panther, we take a quick snapshot and put some decent damage into the side of that said tank. Now I'm trying to stay here like this. I'm trying to stay in a position where that I am not going to be spotted. Here we're going to take a shot from across the way and hopes it hits right where I need it to. Well, of course, you know, that's RNG. It actually didn't hit where I wanted it to. So here we're going to try another one. And it derps the ground right in front of him. So that one didn't even hit. The Rumba here, or the RHM, Rhm Panzer, or whatever this thing is whatever you want to call it. The Rhm B WT. This is a TD with a big gun and very little armor. And very little engine power. And as you can see here, this is Malinovka, like I said, and it's encounter. So, what's funny about this encounter is no one really goes towards, this is given a little bit away in the future, but no one really goes towards the base in any way, shape, or form, which is kind of weird. You don't normally get that. Here you can see I am trying to take a shot in on the prototype, and I am facing backwards. So, one thing about this tank is if you're not 100% sure which direction you're facing, it could be a little goofy, because as you can see, I keep pushing to go backwards, and I'm actually facing forward. Here, I am trying to get shots in on these tanks so that I fire, I hit, and that one did not hit. That was a miss. I am in a position where I can get spotted, unfortunately, so that's why you see me after I fire, I instantly move. Now, if they were paying attention, the Patriot there should have actually fired at me, turned and fired at me. He would have had a better chance of actually getting some damage off of me. And there again, I am spotted once again firing at the Patriot. As you can see here, we're all evened up. We are down, well, now we're down by a tank and down by 1,200 damage. And as you can see here, I'm still trying to get shots in on the Patriot, just trying to get something over here, trying to get shots, looking to see what I might be able to do against the BZ-176. Now, the 176, ooh, there's a shot that penetrated, and it kind of went somewhat where I wanted. A BZ-176 is hard to deal with. It does have a lot of frontal armor, and yeah, so that is its issue. So as you can see here, we're slowly bleeding tanks on this side. We only got them up by one. I've noticed sitting here that they're not really paying attention to me, so I figure now is a good time. Oh, I see the BZ is actually finally paying attention to me, and if that would have actually hit, that would have probably really hurt. Now the BZ-176 can do a grand in damage from HE, and with this tank having very little light armor, I suspect it's time for me to get moving. Now the best thing here is for me to get out of spot range. Maybe not spot range, but get a bunch of different trees and bushes in between me and the enemy. And I'm driving forward and firing behind. That's probably one of the smartest things to try to do is with this tank is to keep your front face away from the enemy. Yes, you're giving up armor, but then again, this tank doesn't have a lot of armor as it is. You can see there, we tried to take a shot at the T-34-3 and it misses. We are all evened up, which is kind of really strange. At this point, I'm sitting here trying to take snipe shots. Now, this isn't the greatest sniper tank, but then again, it also is definitely not a brawler because it has no stinking armor. As you can see here, take a shot at the BZ-176. Do hit his lower glacis there, and that's where you got to really hit this guy, is in the lower glacis. There is the 166. Try to hit him, and it completely misses. Now I'm just using the AMBTs and the CS52 lists as spotters, just trying to stay away from the enemy as much as possible. As you can see, this we started off in a loss with tanks, but yet we've pulled it back together. But they still have two of the most powerful tanks right there with the BZ-166 and the BZ-176. So as you can see here, still trying to fire at the 166, still not getting pens. So I'm still continuing to try to do that damage. I am still continuing looking in front of me, because again the tank is facing backwards, to see where I am pointed. Here we're going to start, and this is all I'm really doing, is I'm trying to take the sniper role, which I need to be doing to be able to actually help my team, staying behind bushes. Again, this has a big gun, it has very little armor. So you need to use your camouflage with this tank very much. As you can see there, the BZ-166 did get shot and looked away. I should have fired right then again, but I didn't. Try to fire at the M4A1 Rev. Do not get anything out of it, unfortunately. Still reloading. Another thing about this tank, it got a real long reload. There, we do track the T-34-3. Hopefully it was hoping someone would actually get a shot in on him right at the same point in time. There is the BZ-166 again. Take a shot at it. Just as I take a shot at it, the 176 appears. So it was been a real question of what to do. Fire at the 176 and finally take it out. Get a good pen on the 176. So we're keeping this even. We are up. We took out another tank there. We are up in hit points. So overall, that is what's saving us on this match. You see, this is just basically trying to stay alive over here, pretty much. Here at this point, this is going to be the bad part, because I really don't have any bushes in between me and it, but gotta start beating on that defender or the 252U. It's the same tank. All right, someone's got to do something to it. I got to give up something, so I'm taking a few shots. Gonna have to take a few shots here from the Rev, the M4A1 Rev, and I do. There's the first shot, and here's the second shot. Now I'm going to the point where I basically am going to be vanishing. As you can see, the little medium tank icon up on the hill is either one of the two, the Liss or the Rev. And I don't believe it's the Rev, because there's the Rev respotted right there. And I'm going to aim in. All it is two tanks versus us 5, but I'm still not going to push my luck when it comes to getting spotted. I'm all out of standard rounds at this point, but that doesn't matter, because guess what? That, ladies and gentlemen, is the game. That is the battle, and it is a win. This was a hectic battle because we lost all our heavies, and it was a combination between a couple mediums doing spotting and one TD or a couple TDs that were actually doing the sniping. So we did whittle them down as they came down the hill. The big point about this is you never know what's going to be in those tree lines way back in the back, and a rumba in those tree lines is pretty deadly. So let's go ahead and move on over to WattRecords.com to see how I overall ended up doing. And here we are at WattRecords.com. Overall, it was a first-class badge and a pretty good battle. Got fire for effect, got Master Gunner for 5 penetrating shots in a row, so that could have been on this battle, or it could have been, the first shot in it, because they carry over from battle to battle. So, and it's just not on, like, I don't think it's just on this tank. I think it's on all of them. So if my battle before was just happened to be, we'll say, T50-2, and I got 4 penetrating shots at the end of the battle, and I come into this and play this tank and got 1. That's how that works. Bruiser, again, one of the easiest ones to get, along with fire for effect. So got high caliber, and that high caliber came from the 4,608 damage. That is partly the reason for this video. Also, the second reason is as a 5,600 WN8 game. Now, it's not an ace, no, but I mean, it is an 1122, so about 1250 would probably be a good source to look at for a ace tanker's badge. As you can see, the AMBT here, he got Top Gun, and the Indian Panzer here got Confederate. Now, the AMBT and the list were doing a lot of spotting. And as you can see here, Adriel in the Barask, he was doing a lot also. All were doing a lot to help out the team, as you can see overall. Basically, AMBT was basically the spotter at the very end of the battle, and he's what was helping keep the heavies from actually over pushing that whole line. That and the damage coming from behind him. Mainly his spotting was what was doing the big thing. 23 shots fired, only 15 of them did hit, 10 of them were for damage, 4,600 overall damage. Now, it did get close, but again, this is not really a tank that you want to have in the front line, so you're going to be doing a lot more sniping with it. 2,547 of that damage was from long range, so over 50%. Damage 7, destroyed 2. Again, a long reload time with this tank is going to mean if you want kills, you're going to have to hold them until you're almost guaranteed to know you're going to get the kill and get the pen. Again, I believe this gun is the small gun on this tank. I don't think I've gotten the big gun yet, which is even slower rate of fire, but there's more damage. Damage assistance is 401, and I barely moved just under a kilometer, and that was mostly moving down the hill away from that corner, trying to, not get shot after they started taking the hill. 54, almost 55,000 credits. Did fire some gold rounds. Couldn't avoid it, especially when I ran out of premium rounds. I did fire some gold rounds and then switch back to premium rounds, and then just switch back to standard rounds, only to run through all my standard rounds and have to shoot premium rounds anyways. So either way around it, I would have been firing some premium rounds, whether I liked it or not, whether I wanted to or not. So with all that, I only came out with basically 43,000 less credits. Whew, spent a lot. All right, as you can see here, we have 1,683. This was a 2 times first battle of the day, so we get 3,366 experience that it's going to go into researching the tier 9. Now, a lot of these tanks, the tier 8s are really good or they're really bad, so the ones above them and below them are really good. Sometimes you get a tier 8 that's really good and the tier 9 is really good. And the tier 10 sucks. It's a hard sell on a lot of these tanks. So that is the overall thing you got to wonder about. So as you can see here, I was pretty sure this wasn't the big gun, so that's why I put the Rhm B, because it does do a boom, and I'm pretty sure it does not have the Top Gun overall, but there is that. And I do hope that this, whether it was educational or whether it was just, a good video, and I do hope it was one of those two for you. Make sure you scroll down and click that like button, and if you really liked it. And if you want to give me a second way, say, hey, this is a good battle, click the description. Down in the description below, there is a link straight to this page over here on What Records. You'll have to sign in right here up in the upper right hand corner. And then once you do that, there will be a thumbs up or thumbs down here. You may have to click the link to come back here once again just to get back to this. That will tell me that you think that this is a good battle and or a good video. If you want to leave a comment, which I do try to read all my comments down below, it's a lot easier for me on YouTube. Just scroll right down below. There is also a comment section on whatrecords.com right there down below after you click that like button. So on that, if you're not subscribed and you want to keep up to my World of Tanks and anything else I do here, make sure you click that subscription button while you're down there clicking that like, because just maybe YouTube unsubscribed you. It's been happening to many people, so a lot of us content creators here on YouTube are referring that if you have subscribed and you haven't watched one of our videos in a while, make sure you go ahead and check that subscription button just to make sure you subscribe. Now, if you want instant notification, you click on that notification bell. Well, it's not really instant, I guess. If you want notifications for all the videos that I put up on here, like World of Tanks, Minecraft, game reviews, etc., make sure you click that notification bell. Change it from personalized to all to get notification of all my uploads. Ladies and gentlemen, there's really not much else to say. I'm going to get on up out of here. I'm GreatTaz, and I hope to see you on the battlefield.